Berlin-based artist RDRADA at the Kunstfabrik Herzbergstraße 55. Very welcome. I'm very glad that we finally are doing this interview. RDRADA works now in Berlin as she is participant of the Extreme Women Art Prize 2022 Berlin, and I am very excited to ask our questions. So, how was your recent exhibition? We showed your work at the Berliner Bühnentreff Volkssolidarität Art in Public Spaces. So, how was it?
It was great. It was my first time exhibiting in a community space, which I really valued because it's not just about people who are just in the art world, but anybody who is walking around in this Bühnentreff area, to come in, look at the art, be with the community, which I really valued. My whole family could be there. It was wonderful to see my art with other diverse artists, different styles. My style is more expressionistic against some very glossy, darker figurative work. I really enjoyed it. It was very valuable.
Exactly. That was also the idea of the whole question, to bring art to people who generally don't go to the art exhibitions, and to experiment with the context. It's always different with every constellation and every artist. And we are into this experiment with every show. Speaking of, your works are so dynamic and so full of power and color. Who has been your artistic inspiration?
A lot of my inspiration comes from abstract expressionism, but also some American artists. Wayne Thiebaud is one of my favorites. His use of vibrant color just reminds me of this strong optimism that I get from American culture, and I have a lot of that in my work, especially the blue clouds and just very strong colors that are very direct.
Yes, the blue clouds and a lot of sky. Maybe you could speak about this.
Sure.
And in one of your recent works, the canvas is cut into pieces.
Yeah, I would love to talk about that. I mean, when it comes to works that involve this blue sky, it's based on my early ideas of images of American culture, which is about positivity. Blue sky is always ahead, the sky is the limit. And, growing up as a child in this very idealistic atmosphere, of course you realize later that not all your ideals are true. That's the reason why the canvas is cut up, and it's just sort of a way to explore those kind of hurt feelings when you realize all these ideals, they're not as beautiful as you were first taught about. Yeah.
Exactly. I think this element of criticism, or at least an attempt to critically analyze reality, is very important to any art, or painting, or other genres. Judging from this, what is the role of art?
The role of art to me is, I feel that people who are not involved in art can get it wrong, but the role of art to me is so many things. To me, a lot of times it's a diary just to reflect exactly how I feel at a certain moment. The words cannot capture it. It's too complicated. So if you use painting as a way to capture how you feel at a certain moment, it's so much truer than words, which can be stale, especially if we use repeated phrases that are commonly used. So that is a really important thing for me. And another part of it is to just say what we want to be changed in the world, what we're angry at. A lot of that is in my art. What we seem to accept with our everyday lives, we can say that I don't take it in my art.
How far do you think, how far can you go with expressing your dissatisfaction or your protest? I mean, what is for you artistic freedom?
For me, artistic freedom is, I mean, number one is time. You can't escape that. Also, I think it's also a lot of support. The people around you can really create this atmosphere like that is nurturing to you mentally. Without that, it would be difficult to create my work if I wasn't around people who understood, at the beginning the art doesn't look so impressive, or maybe it takes 40 layers of painting to make it look like something. Yeah.
What has been the feedback to your works up to now?
The feedback to my works are now. I mean, I think I get a lot of. I'm surprised. Sometimes some of my very stressful political works. Sometimes people will tell me that it's been calming, which is sort of interesting to me. So maybe I'm guessing that it can mean that if you see a work that reflects your own reality, it is very calming in a way. That's what I take. Yeah.
So you moved now to Berlin, and you will be working in another studio soon, and also exhibited here. What is special for you? What is special about being a Berlin artist? There are so many stories and legends about Berlin artists and the creative scene here. For you personally, what is there particular about it?
I feel like there's so much. I mean, I originally thought that I would never live abroad due to my day job. I remember reading articles about Berlin and artists having airplane hangar size studios here. I knew it was a community, and coming here, I think the best thing about it is the community. People are there. I feel that they're ready to help. They're not looking for something in return. They just want to help. I have met, I think, a larger artist community here in Berlin than where I was in New York City, where I felt it's because of the cost of living, it's difficult to find people who are doing things creatively. Yeah, but here, I mean, it's endless. I love it that you can meet so many different types of artists.
Yes, it's a metropole for contemporary art. It's so diverse, and it still has its freedom, although the contemporary markets and the crisis of all sorts have destroyed a lot of that. But as you say, it's still very inspiring. How would you think? Speaking of the subjective experiences in art, should art be political, and to what extent?
It's a great question, because I mean, I've been told my art is very political. It definitely is. But I think art should be political if the creator really can stomach it, because I mean, it's not for everybody. Maybe not everybody has so many feelings that they need to explore in paintings. But for me, I mean, the strongest source of my emotions, my angers, has been a lot of political topics, such as gun violence in America, and because it bothers me so deeply, there is enough fuel for me to be able to paint about it. So I think it depends on the person.